Yo, hello everybody. Imps Ting podcast show. Your boy Cornell in the house, back again with another video. And today I'm talking players who are out of contract, who would be a brilliant, wicked fit for Lincoln City. Before we get into the video, smash a like on my YouTube channel. Also, leave a comment down below. Tell me your thoughts. Which players do you think who is out of contract this summer would fit Lincoln City? So without further ado, before I say who they are, I want to say a big, massive thank you to the 317 subscribers who have subscribed to my YouTube channel. It really means a lot. To be fair, yes, Jack Reeve, I see you. Yeah, it's Jack Reeve says Cornell live now. Never thought I would see this. Yes, man. It's the first time I've ever actually been gone on live stream. I've never done live streaming before. Well, I've filmed on YouTube on my tablet and stuff. Do you know what I mean? But I've never actually basically gone live. So this is the first time I have actually gone live before. So I'm just having a bit of a play around with my new laptop, to be fair. So thank you very much for the comment, Jack Reeve. Big up yourself. Jerry, the GOAT of Pro Club, says, Leandro Baracuna, what's your opinion? Um, my opinion of it is, I'm not sure. I would love to see it happen, but for me personally, I'm not. I'm still worried that we may not be able to afford his wages. To be fair, so that's another problem for me because we have to buy players who are willing to play for Lincoln City, obviously we're working with a similar budget. So to be fair, we have to attract players who we think will fit the bill for Lincoln. So obviously, if you haven't read Stacey West on Twitter, basically there are 12 players who might fit. Well, in my words, would fit Lincoln City Football Club. To be fair, um, obviously, for me, the first one that comes to mind is for me, I picked out about seven. So for me, the first one that comes to mind is Callum Camps, obviously, who used to play for Rochdale. For me, I would love to see Callum Camps in an Imp shirt because obviously McGrandles is still in talks with Lincoln City and we don't know if he's going. Obviously, yes, his family has moved back to Scotland. Obviously, for me, that's gonna get him thinking. Well, if his family's moved to Scotland, obviously he's going to be thinking, well, is he? Do I stay? Do I leave? Do I leave the club? Obviously, there's questions to be asked of it. But if McGrandles was to leave, yeah, I would see, with all due respect, I can see Callum Camps being one hell of a player for Lincoln City. You could just imagine Callum Camps at Lincoln City. He plays similar football to McGrandles, and he would be a brilliant fit for Lincoln City. You could just imagine Callum Camps being at Lincoln City. I would love to see it happen. Imagine Callum Camps being at Lincoln City. It would be so amazing to see him at Lincoln City Football Club. I mean, you could imagine the options that Mark Kennedy would have. You could see it being Bishop, Sanders, and obviously having Callum Camps on in the midfield as well too, and then also on the list as well for me, I would love to see Tom Carroll. Imagine Tom Carroll. Um, for me personally, I would love to see Tom Carroll at Lincoln City Football Club. Obviously because we've bought, um, you know, we've we've obviously haven't bought anyone as yet, but I'm just thinking back to last season when Michael Appleton had bought um, Teddy Bishop in the summer on a free agent. Yeah, Jack Reeves just said that I think Sanders is going, mate. Yeah, I have a gut feeling he could leave, but I think there's still more to come from him, Jack. So I do see um Sanders probably being part of it. But I think if he does leave, I think if there was any replacement, I would say Tom Carroll. You could imagine Tom Carroll, Bishop in midfield, and Callum Camps in that midfield, because obviously Mark Kennedy likes to play a 4-3-3 formation. He likes a 3-4-3 as well, and he also likes 4-4-2. But who does 4-4-2 these days? To be fair, you understand what I'm saying. Um, I I would love to see it, but for me, let's wait and see. That's just my opinion. But the one that really got me, basically, let me see. Let me see. I can see more comments coming through. Jack Ravers said it depends on McGrandle, if anything, mate. Yeah, it that's true. Yes, it depends on what McGrandle decides. I mean, if he decides to stay, then I don't think we might not need a defender. Probably a defensive midfielder. I would probably say. Um, I see us probably getting in the summer. But if there was one player, I would say Tom Carroll. I mean, obviously, you know, Tom Carroll or Callum Camps would be really, really good. Would be two good replacements for Conor McGrandles. Um, I would love to see. I would love to see one either of them replace McGrandles if McGrandles was to leave. The next one I'd probably say that I would love to see, and I saw this evening on Facebook. Somebody put this on Facebook and say, "Will we see Geordie Jones as the brand new signing for Lincoln City?" Obviously, he's out of contract. He's left. He's left the club. He's left Coventry City. Obviously, yes. Um, Jack Reeves got commented again and said, "Sell Brigcut and give his wages to Grant." Yeah, sorry about that. That was my mum in the background. Big up my mother. Um, and for me, you could. I mean, let me see what Jack Reeves say. Sell Brigcut and give his wages to Grant. Listen, if we want Grant to come back, yes, I would sell Brigcut. Um, but for me, um, I wouldn't sell Brick Cut because I think Brick Cut is more of a coach, a play will be more probably offered a player or a coaching role, because you could imagine what it'd be like if he was part of the coaching role. And for me, I'd like to see that happen. I mean, yes, Jerry the Goat of Pro Clubs has just commented and said Jerome Sinclair isn't a bad shout, but recently got released to Watford to enforce the attack to replace Marquis. Yes, probably that's another one as well. Jerome Sinclair. That would be obvious. Obviously, I'd love to see Jerome Sinclair. I mean, I do remember reading this on Stacey West podcast on social media about him, and I did say yes, I'd like to see that happen. But Jack Reeves has obviously said Jones in an Imp shirt wouldn't be mind that. Yes, definitely. I would love to see Geordie Jones in an Imp shirt because he's got pace, he's quick, he's fast, and he's not afraid to take on the defender. Yes, I know this thing with Croak signing Croak players is a big thing because it's worth a risk. But look at how, you know, Appleton got the best out of Chris Maguire. Yes, Chris Maguire's best game was against Sunderland. Yeah, of course, since his injury problems, his form had sucked last season. But signing Geordie Jones would be brilliant because he has championship experience. He knows how to run at defenders, get past defenders. Yes, and Mark will get the best out of him because, as Mark said, he wants to play aggressive football. He wants to play aggressive football and he wants to play attacking football. Geordie Jones is that guy. I would love to see Geordie Jones in an Imp shirt right now. If although the transfer window is not opening until the 13th of June, but if you had one person to say that deserves to be in this team, Geordie Jones. Um, Let me see your comments, what you've been putting. Jack Reeves says, yeah, I agree. A coaching role from the young lads like Billy Brooks. Yeah. Obviously, Billy Brooks coming in, Odin Gallagher coming in as well. Elitcher as well, who's coming in from the youth ranks as well. He's one to look out for. And also Sean Rowan as well, who's still at Dundee as well. I'm very pleased that his contract has extended as well too. I'm very pleased that the club has done that. Jerry the Goat Pro Club says, if you had to pick one signing right now, who would it be? listen, if I had to pick one signing, I would definitely say Geordie Jones right now. I would pick Geordie Jones right now because Geordie Jones has got trickery, as I just said, pace, everything. He's got everything that we want in this team. Imagine Geordie Jones being in this team. Yes, he's the championship experience is key as well because it's not easy signing championship players. Um, you know, from the championship who's been released from the championship. Um, yes, Jerry, the GOAT pro clubs. Yes, Geordie Jones is from Coventry. Yes, just got released this week. Basically, um, so if you haven't seen it, check it out on social media as well, on Twitter as well. I'd like to see a Harim Boateng in this team as well. Imagine Harim Boateng, but I have a gut feeling he's probably going to go to um maybe Cambridge, maybe Exeter in league. Obviously, I see that. Yeah, Jack Reeves says hopefully we'll get Jones. Listen, I'm as positive as I am. I believe, I so believe that Geordie Jones will be the first signing, and then for me, the second signing that has to come in, I would like to see Tom Aves, who's just got released from Hull. Tom Aves. When I saw this, I was at work here, and when I saw this, I was like, Tom Aves, who was a favourite at Hull City last season, and you could imagine, think about it. I know, yes, Marcus is gone. Possibly Hopper could leave, which could see us probably get another striker. Maybe. I don't know. There's a possibility of it happening. But imagine Tom Eves at Lincoln City Football Club. I would love to see um, Tom Eves at Lincoln City Football Club because yes, he's played for our arch rivals, Hull City. He was a fan favorite there. He's an um, aerial threat to go forward. He knows where to goal is. He knows where the goal is, and he can finish. I would love to see it. I even saw that. I was watching Stacey West's podcast. Big up Gary Hutchinson as well. Um, and he spoke about this as well. Somebody had actually renounced this and said that Harim Boateng is also a shout as well. I would love to see Harim Boateng at Lincoln City. For me, it would be such a wicked signing if we signed him. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm saying? Imagine Harim Boateng because when he played against us in the playoffs during the Cowley era, um, he was just a top. He's still a top class player. Don't get me wrong, but he is just amazing to watch. Imagine him in this team. Say, for example, Bridcut was to leave. I don't know. Although, yes, he can play defensive midfield and he can play as a central midfield. But if McGrandles was to leave, which looks likely he is, the replacements out of him would be Callum Camps, Tom Carroll, or Harim Boateng. Um, I'm going to read your comments again. Jack Reeves says, "What about Palmer, mate? Has he been on the list?" Well, Alex Palmer, for me personally, would have been a fantastic goalkeeper. 2 seasons under the Appleton era. Obviously, got 18 clean sheets. Amazing. It would be amazing to have him, but unfortunately, he signed a 5-year deal at West Bromwich Albion because I did read throughout a couple of weeks back that it was unlikely that we Lincoln City were going to sign him, and basically, I would love to see that happen, but unfortunately, it's not going to happen. Obviously, because obviously he wants to fight for his place, for his place to be a number one goalkeeper, and then he's got Josh Griffiths, still probably fighting for his place when he gets back from injury. So obviously Palmer ain't coming. So obviously we're going to be obviously sticking with Jordan Wright. But yeah, as Jack Reeves said, we've got to bring a goalkeeper in. If there was any goalkeeper that us Lincoln City would I would love to see, I'll say Kieran O'Hara because we was linked with him in the past, and for some reason we didn't get him. Obviously Kieran O'Hara is obviously a Manchester United player. I could imagine him a young talent. I mean, yes, I do think we do need a goalkeeper, of course. I'm not saying that Jordan Wright is not good enough. Yeah, Jordan Wright is good enough, and he has got the potential to be something special and to be a class player, just like Sam Long. You know, Sam Long is the next generation now, doing well at Drogda United. You know, really bossing it, and I see him being a a a, a goalkeeper that's going to be a number one choice goalkeeper for a couple more in a couple more seasons or so. Let me read all your comments again. Jerry the Goat Pro Club says Harim Boateng, I've always wanted to see him at Lincoln in a Lincoln shirt ever since he dominated us in League Two playoffs when we faced Exeter a few years back. Yes, I totally agree. I would love to see it. I remember watching that on the television, and the way that he dominated us, that just showed we needed someone like him. And I would love to see, Harim Boateng in Lincoln, sit in a Lincoln shirt. I would love to see that. Jack Ray says, "Just me who sees Robbo going." I don't think Robbo will leave. To be fair, because I think Robson is a quality class left back. Don't get me wrong. And when Bramall got injured last season, obviously he had to step up. I mean, when he first came in, he played decent. Like there were times where he got murked on the wing, on the attack, especially against Rotherham. Because when he was playing against Rotherham, he was absolutely murked on that game. There were a few games, and then obviously Appleton dropped him, and then obviously Bramall came in, and then Bramall had to prove his doubters wrong and prove to be the best left back, the fastest left back that we got. It's like when he runs, he's like a Usain Bolt running. Um, but for me, I see Robbo to be a prospect as well. I mean, obviously Rowan is going to fight for his place as well to play with us as well too, because he's got a future as well. And I think there is a chance for him to be a success here, depending on what happens, in pre-season. Yeah, and let me see other let me go comments. Yeah, Jack Reeve says Jack Reeve again says we've got to bring in a keeper. Yes. Jerry the GOAT of Pro Club says Freddie Lepredo could come in from Rotherham. The thing is with Freddie Lapro is he's a quality class player, knows how to finish, has got a chance, has got the ability to score goals and to put the ball in the back of the net. My worry is his attitude, yeah? Do you know what I mean? And with all due respect, I don't want to sound like I'm horrible towards Leplo. I would love to see it. I'm a bit worried about the wages, though. Do you know what I mean? Listen, it would happen, but if I read this yesterday when I was at work, and I was reading which three strikers would replace Marquis, and I said the first one that came to mind was Tom Eves. I'm sorry, but I know some of you would want Freddie Lepro to come in, but I'd like to see Tom Eves. Imagine Tom Eves at this club. I want to see it. Imagine Tom Eves at Lincoln City Football Club dominating. Imagine the link up between Kendall, Ben House when he's fully fit, Tom Hopper. I mean, obviously Scully can also play there as well. Chris Maguire can play there as well. But Tom Eves would just be brilliant at Lincoln City. I'd love to see him at Lincoln City Football Club. I could just visualize it right now. Do you know what I mean? Jerry the Goat of Pro Club says, Corner, I'd love to see more lives in this future. Yes, true. Yes. I mean, obviously, I'm just giving my opinion, obviously, on who I think will come and who I think may not come. I still believe that there is a future for Freddie Draper because Freddie Draper has a lot to prove. He showed a glimpse of it last season before he went out on loan to Gainsborough Trinity to get more, more playing time, obviously regular playing time. Macama as well is also one I definitely see being a future as well. He's got the potential to be something special. Alicia as well, who's come out the youth, who's signed a first team professional contract. I see him being brilliant in this team. Imagine that. Sean Rowan, as I said. But for me, there are some youngsters in this team. Gallagher's one of them. Imagine Gallagher in this team. I would love to see Gallagher in this team. Yeah, man. Imagine that. Imagine Gallagher in this team. Yeah. Imagine that. Jesus Christ. Imagine that. The next one on the list that I would love to see that I can see coming to Lincoln is Yan Adonda, who used to play for Swansea City. Imagine he can play as an attacking midfielder. I do think we need some maybe one or two wingers, two or three wingers. I do think that because obviously we've looked, even though we've got Scully and we've got Delican who proved his worth as well too. But for me, um, you could imagine Yana Donda at Lincoln City Football Club. I mean, I read once on Google News that would Yana Donda be a fantastic signing? Yeah, I would definitely take him. I mean, he's a free agent and he deserves playing time, regular playing time that us Lincoln City are very good at developing young players. And Yana Donda would be brilliant. You can imagine the options going forward on the wing. Imagine it being Scully. Imagine it being Delican. Imagine it being Chris Maguire. Obviously, Chris Maguire's got a lot to prove. He's got to prove himself, for the start of the season in 2 months. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, as Jack Reese says, we seem to have a good relationship with Swansea at the minute. Yeah, of course. Obviously, for me, I do I since January, that we've had a good, since bringing Whitaker and Cullen in, we've had a fantastic, we've got a fantastic relationship, even with Man City as well. Speaking of Man City as well, um I do think Jack Davenport would be brilliant, although he's also injury prone. And I know what you guys are thinking. Well, why are we signing a young injury prone player? Look, listen, I would like, I would definitely see Jack. I would definitely welcome Jack Davenport to Lincoln City. Yana Donda from Swansea, yes. Tom Eves, yes. Jack Geordie Jones, yes, 100%. Tom Carroll, 100%. Yes, I know we'll have to probably get rid of a few players to get these type of players. Charles Vernam, although I said once or whatever, he's only 25. Yes, he's been offered a contract at Bradford City. He's under contract and obviously on a retain list. But when I look at it properly, I would definitely say Charles Vernon would be good as well. But I mean, if although I've heard rumors that we are in talks with Charles Vernon, and imagine if Charles Vernon did end up at Lincoln City. Yes, he used to play for Grimsby Town, although I cannot stand the living bones in Grimsby Town. That's why I want Grimsby Town to lose and to lose their playoffs because they suck. Let's get one thing straight. Lincoln City Football Club is way better. Jerry the Goat of Pro Club says that Charlie Kendall will become a well-known name. Yes, I do agree with you. Yes, Charlie Kendall is going to be some wicked prospect next season. Obviously, bossing it for Eastbourne Borough in the National League. Um, I am looking forward to seeing what Charlie Kendall will bring to Lincoln City. His pace going forward, his trickery going forward, it's just frightening. I just believe that Charlie Kendall will run the show. Jack Reeves says Ben House will ball next season. Yes, definitely. Fingers crossed. He comes back from his injury as well. Ben House for me last season when he came on as a sub against Portsmouth, despite that we lost 3-2 at that game, I was like, we've got one hell of a player for Ben House. Ben House is just brilliant. He's on fire. I still cannot believe that I've still created that tune for Ben House. It's still going to Ben House in the middle of our street. Brilliant tune. I can't believe that. I can see 617 singing that next season. Imagine that, man. Yeah, but Ben House will be brilliant next season. Him, Charlie Kendall will be prospects to watch out for. Yeah, man. Popper, yeah. In the middle of our street. penthouse in the middle of our street. Yeah, man. You nailed the lyrics, Jack. You nailed it, man. Yeah. Um, I think as well there are a few others as well. Taylor Richards. I'd love to see Taylor Richards, man. Even though he was on, he used to play for Brighton, then went on loan to Birmingham City. I would love to see Taylor Richards at Lincoln City Football Club. Yeah, imagine. Think about it. Imagine Taylor Richards at Lincoln City Football Club. I could see Mark Kennedy getting him to bringing him to Lincoln because he's got the pace, he's got the trickery, just like Geordie Jones. Yeah, imagine Geordie Jones and Taylor Richards on the wing. I mean, although it could push out Scully, but just someone to link up with Scully. You know, make him into the player that he is already. I mean, obviously, yeah, he's not going to bring all players from Birmingham, but what Mark Kennedy will do is he will go into the teams that he's played with, and he will basically go into Birmingham, see what they got, see what Wolves have as well, because it's not only just the ones that are on. Definite. Jerry the Goat Pro Club says Delican in intention. Yes, Delican intention. Yeah, definitely. I definitely see a Delican. I mean, when he played against Crew, yeah, you get me. He just ran the show, and he's got a point to prove. Yeah, Joe Beard, big up yourself, Joe Beard. I hope you and your family are well. Big up yourself. Um, I could definitely see. Yes, I'm very, very well. Thank you. I hope you're well as well, Joe Beard. Big up yourself too. As I was saying, Delican has got a future here. Delican has got the chance to be something special. Yes, probably under Appleton. Yes, he didn't really show that. But what he did do was he can really, really rock, When he gets on the ball, he has got the quality. Yeah, I know the showboating and the skills and the techers, maybe he's gone a bit like real too far. But what he does do is he can create opportunities running down the wing. And if you saw the game against Crew, the way he linked up play against with Scully was just brilliant. You could just see that, and you're thinking, well, if Mark Kennedy was to play them two on the wing, on the left and the right, play Scully on the left, play Scully on the right, not Scully on the right, sorry, Adelican on the right, Adelican on the right, you could just visualize. And then obviously Kendall or Ben House up front, or Hopper, and possibly Ben Eves. You could just imagine it. Think about it. You could imagine the lineup next season for Lincoln City. Imagine it being Jordan Wright in goal. I still think we need another goalkeeper, but obviously he might stick. Kennedy will still get the best out of Jordan Wright, because Jordan Wright has the chance to be something special. But as I was saying, Taylor Richards for me is one hell of a player, and I would love to see him in an Imp shirt. But the players for me that are out of contract that have really stood out for me is Callum Camps, Charles Vernon, Tom Carroll, Jody Jones, Tom Ives, definitely, Yana Donda, and Jacob Davenport from Man City. Those are the players that I would like to see Lincoln City sign, because right now we need to sign players who are going to play for the shirt, who are going to give 100% every single home and away game, because right now League One next season is going to be an absolute beast. You're going to have Barnsley in there. We're going to have Derby in there. We're going to have Peterborough back, although I don't forgive Peterborough for what they did to us, 2 seasons ago, basically. But what it does show is that us, Lincoln City, will be a better side next season. We will be better. We will be a quality side that will be recognized with. Because even though some might think, well, okay, fine, Lincoln City, Lincoln City may finish in the top 5. I see us finishing in the top half of the table, challenging for promotion, challenging for playoffs, challenging for, to win the League One. I mean, yes, I know that's a little bit too ambitious, but I want to see Lincoln City do well this, for the new season. Obviously, we've got to play Blackburn in the first preseason game. It'll be very interesting to see what lineup he goes up with. Is he going to go with a young youth squad and probably maybe have one or two young players, experienced players playing in that game? I don't know. Then we got to play Hartlepool, obviously, and then probably a few others. If there was any preseason other game that I'd like to see us play, I'd like us to play Lincoln Red Imps. You could imagine that. Imagine that would be a brilliant, preseason friendly, and that would really, really test us. But being tested against championship opposition does show that Lincoln City are ready for the new League One season. But let's wait and see what signings to come in. But those are the signings that I would like to see. But if there was one signing I would like to see, Tom Eaves is one of them. But I think it because especially for striker wise, because we need a striker. Come on, yeah. Jerry the Goat of Pro Club says Ioma. Yes, TJ Oma. I see TJ Oma actually playing at right back next season. Regan Paul will probably link up his play with Monson when Monson is fully fit. Definitely, I can see. TJ Oma. TJ Oma's got the potential to be a special player. Obviously, yeah, when he first came on loan, he was brilliant, and then Regan Poole came in. There was, criticism of Regan Poole, but Regan Poole bossed it and proved his doubters wrong. That's something that Regan Poole has really done really well, and he really deserved to get the player of the season. Although it was tough between him and Bramwell and Norton Cuffy. Yeah, I'd love to see Norton Cuffy back, but I don't see Norton Cuffy coming back because obviously he's going to push his way into the first team for Arsenal. He's only 18. He's got the potential to be something special. Even Barcelona might snap him up. Who knows? I would love to see Barcelona snap him up. Snap him up. You never know. You never know with him. Never know. But as I say, let's get one thing straight. When the transfer window opens, we'll see who the first signing is. Is it going to be Geordie Jones? Is it going to be Charles Vernon? Is it going to be, Tom Carroll? Is it going to be Tom Ives? Is it going to be Jack Davenport? Who knows? We don't know. Let me see what else you're putting down. Jerry the Goat Pro Close says, for me, I would like to see Vadim Oliver as a quick fix. Yeah, I know he's also. I think I did see he's gone to another club. I don't know what other club he's gone to. He's gone to, but I know he's a free agent as well. I mean, yes, he used to play for Lincoln, as I remember. Someone was telling me, um, he would be a very good addition to Lincoln City Football Club as well. But I mean, obviously, is Mark Kennedy going to go in there and go and get him? What do you want to bring him back? I don't know. But for me, if there was anybody that could be a potential sign, and we don't know exactly, it has to be Tom Eaves for me. But obviously, you guys obviously have similar opinions to me, so I totally respect that very, very well. What you guys think. Obviously, I was a little bit nervous to actually do a live video on YouTube on here, and I'm very, very proud that I'm able to do something like this with myself by myself and conquer my fears. But obviously, for me, we have to enjoy right now. We have to enjoy watching the playoffs tomorrow, as it's Wickham versus Sunderland. I'm going Wickham to beat Sunderland, because right now Sunderland basically are getting real too big headed for their boots right now. Obviously, yes, I know they've been linked with with top notch players. If they actually go on and really go on to basically go and attract the best players, fair enough, and they happen to win tomorrow, fair play to them. But the masterclass of Gareth Ainsworth is not easy. It's very, very difficult as well too, because when he puts his mind to it and he puts his best team out, I mean, their best player will be Sam Vokes. Sam Vokes, definitely, because Vokes runs the show for them, and stuff. But let's wait and see what happens in the playoffs tomorrow. Obviously, fair play to Mansfield yesterday. They got in. I mean, some of the Imps fan base wants Mansfield to go up and for us to play Mansfield again. You could imagine it being Mansfield versus Lincoln in on the first day of the season. Why would I want Mansfield? I mean, what? Doing what? Really? I'd rather play Barnsley or play Derby in the first day of the season, or even play Peterborough than bloody Mansfield. But listen, if they win their League Two playoff, fair play to them. Don't get me wrong. I don't really like Mansfield, to be fair. I'm not keen on Mansfield Town, or as the Imps fan base called them, Mansfield. Obviously looking forward to the village to Forest Green Rovers / Forest Village Rovers. Looking forward to that. But as I said, let's wait and see what happens from now to June. I also want to say a big thank you to the 317 subscribers who have subscribed to my YouTube channel. Yeah, it really means a lot. I wasn't sure if I was able to do live streaming on YouTube and to really suss myself out and stuff. I was a bit nervous. I wasn't sure what reaction I would have got, but I do thank people who have subscribed to my YouTube channel. Thank you very much. It really means a lot, and for me to conquer my fears and to be doing a live stream on YouTube by myself. Amazing times. I love it, man. Let me see your comments again. Big respect for you, Cornell. Thank you very much, Jerry the Gold Pro Clubs. He says again, I prefer Port Vale to see Tom back in League One. Yeah, Tom Pitt, yeah. Brings back memories, man. I like Tom Pitt. What a player Tom Pitt is. He was real quality for us, and then for some reason he was out of favour. Then he had to leave and go to Stevenage. Didn't really work out there, but obviously he went to Port Vale and got himself back up again and got his form back. Yeah, some would rather have Port Vale actually going on to win. And then obviously imagine Mansfield actually bottling their promotion hopes of in the final. That would be something. Imagine that. Imagine them bottling it. That would be real something. Well, listen, whoever wins out of that game, it's either Mansfield or Port Vale. I'm not fussed. But the one I'm looking forward to is Wickham. Is Wickham versus Sunderland? Because for me, I'm just preparing for the Sunderland meltdown. What that meltdown's going to be like. Oh my God. Imagine that. Imagine that happening. OMG. Jesus Christ. Imagine if Akinfenwa. Do you know what I predicted now? And I was talking to Gabriel Sutton. Big up Gabriel Sutton, actually. And I actually said to him this afternoon, I said I'm going 2-1 Wickham. Akinfenwa to get the winner. And you can imagine the scenes. Obviously, yes, it's Akinfenwa's last game because he's coming to the stage of his career now and he's going to retire. Yeah, obviously. He's had one hell of a career. If you haven't seen his FIFA stats on FIFA, although I ain't gone on it for a bit, obviously you should check it out as well on TikTok as well too. If you can't get it on FIFA, yeah. Also, I'll be doing another podcast show as well. I'll be doing Cornell's podcast show where I'll be talking about all different things as well. From music to books to all different things. So, also that's a second podcast show that I also have in store as well, to come in as well. So be prepared for that. But this is the first time that I've ever actually done this type of thing. Jerry the Goat Pro Club says 97 physical insane of Akinfenwa. Yeah, that is physical because if you look at his contributes, yeah, his physical presence is a massive thing. But if you was to have him in your ultimate team, fair play. You could just probably have all your whole ultimate team players in your ultimate team, with all due respects. Well, I think if mine for my London Imps SC team, I've got Jordan Pickford, which is low. And then my back four, I've got John. Obviously, I've got Rafa Lavan, Harry Maguire. Although I just added Marquinhos into it. And then I've got Kieran Attorney in there as well, who I added as well. Um, I've also got on the right as well. I want to add Carl Walker, but I can't add Carl Walker. But it's and then my best midfield is Declan Rice, Phillips, and Madison in midfield. That's one hell of a thing. And then up front on the wing, I've got Grealish as well. I've got Edwards, and then up front is the choice of Antonio as well. I know it's not a very good team, but that's my ultimate team. But I'm also playing Create a Club mode as well, which is Imps United in the Premier League. I've got to say my best signing for Imps United has got to be Ben Breton Diaz. Imagine I could just in my created team. I would really like to have that. Thank you very much. Yeah, great midfield. Yeah. I think my midfield for my London Imps FC team, ultimate team, is the best. Actually, to be fair, I ain't gonna lie. And then I'll probably say on the best winger I've got is Jack Grealish. I've got to say, yeah, Jack Grealish. Yeah, Jack Grealish. I'll give that. My best starting lineup for Imps United on Create a Club mode on FIFA 22. I'll probably say obviously I got create a goalkeeper. Well, create a goalkeeper, but I swapped him and put him for Bursic. I've got Bursic on in goal as well. He's got he had 8 clean sheets in the Premier League, 8 clean sheets in the Premier League, and also um I can't remember how many skins he's got right now, but I'll put all that content and stuff on YouTube as well for you guys to actually see. And then my best defense for the Imps United as Sean Raggett, Sean Clear, that is the best defense centre backs I've got. I'm trying to add Lewis Monsimer as well to it as well, and I've got Scully as well in my Imps United team as well on Create Club mode as well. Um, best right back I've got as well. Yeah, Joseph Bursic made one appearance for Lincoln. Yeah, of course. Yes, that's true. I do remember him in the first leg of the playoff. He was immense for us. I remember that day when I heard that Alex Palmer was out injured with a concussion, and I heard that Bursic was coming on emergency loan deal. I was like, yeah, brilliant. We should amazing times. But I signed him for Imps United. Best midfield for the Imps United, I'd say, is Fabio Carvalho. Definitely creative player Rodriguez. And I've also got Massamingo as well from Bristol City as well. Best, I'll probably say on the wing. Definitely, I play Scully and I play Scully as well. I've got Joe Ward as well at right back as well. So that's another big boost for my Imps United team as well. I've also got a couple of new faces as well. I've also got Louis Zhao as well. Up front. But my best striker I've got is Breton Diaz. It's Ben Breton Diaz. What a signing! He is as well. I'm just gonna turn the light on. Just give me 1 second. You guys can't see. Yeah, man. Yeah, you guys can see me right now. For me, that's the best players that I've got. I have. Would I like to see Forest? Jerry the Goat of Pro Club says, would you like to see Forest go up? Yeah, of course. I'd like to see Nottingham Forest go up, fam. I'd love it. I think Nottingham Forest have been an amazing team. They've really shocked everybody. They beat Arsenal. They beat Leicester. They almost beat Liverpool, but obviously Liverpool went through, and I'm pleased that they won the FA Cup, obviously. But for me, I would definitely say yes. I'd like to see Nottingham Forest go up. Although some are saying if Nottingham Forest was to go on and win, and get promoted, then we would probably might get a few quid. So I think it would be more favoured that obviously Huddersfield will definitely probably gain promotion. So I think obviously yes, you already know with with Harry Toffolo. Um, I like Harry Toffolo. I thought Harry Toffolo was brilliant for Lincoln City. Really bossed it from head to toe. Made himself a hero and made himself a complete legend at Lincoln City Football Club. But for me, Brennan Johnson is the best. You know, he's the best going at this time, and I do see him playing for a Premier League club. I do worry. I do worry. Yeah, how's it going? How's it going, Owen? Hey, how are you? Hoping you're well and your family. It will be interesting with Brennan Johnson is for me which Premier League club he goes to. I mean, obviously, would he go to Spurs? Spurs, I don't think he would last long at Spurs because he'll probably be like on the bench. Why would Brennan go to Spurs? The big clubs, I don't see Brennan Johnson ripping it apart. Probably probably West Ham, possibly maybe Wolves because Wolves like to play younger talent and most of their talents is more Portuguese young talents. Um, Possibly, maybe the new clubs that come, maybe Fulham, maybe imagine him in a Fulham shirt linking up with Mitrovic. Um, but yeah, as I always say, no doubt that Brendan Johnson will be in the Premier League next season. No doubt, yeah, of course, yeah, he will be. I can see, Brendan Johnson being, a Premier League player. No doubt about it. With all due respects, um, but like I said, for Lincoln City Football Club's transfer wise, on who I think will sign, we'll just have to wait and see. Theo Robertson back? Nah. I don't see Theo Robertson coming back, Owen. That's never going to happen. I doubt that one pretty much. Although, yes, he's been released, I would more see a chance of Charles Vernon coming back to Lincoln City. Because, yes, he played for the Grimsby. But you could imagine him in an Imps shirt. He would do justice. Just like Geordie Jones is going to do justice for Lincoln City. Yeah? Imagine that. Tom Eaves has got to sign for this club. No doubt, no disrespect intended. Yeah? Do you know what I'm saying? I would like to see Tom Eaves sign for this club. Yeah? I don't care if it's Geordie Jones. I don't care if it's Tom Carroll. I don't care if it's Jack Davenport. I don't care if it's Charles Vernon. I don't care. It's Callum Camps. I don't care who it is. As long as it's a player that wants to play for the club, play for the shirt, play for the fans, and play for the manager. Because getting behind Mark Kennedy is extremely important because this club can go further. I know it can go further. Yes, some are still doubting and they're not sure where the club could be. Yes, we don't know what players are or what's going on behind the scenes. We all know that Lincoln City can be a better side. Yes, for us to compete with the bigger teams, we have to be smarter. We have to bring in players that fit the budget. Yeah, and I believe if there was one that I had to pick, Tom Ives is one of them. But if it was a really, really massive big signing, Geordie Jones is the one that will change everything. Yes, he had a serious ACL injury. Yes, of course. Obviously, yes, the injury crisis was a big, big, massive thing last season. And especially when we had Jackson injured with concussion, Walsh, Walsh being injured as well, Hopper being injured, Briggs as well, was the main one. Because when he's in our midfield, he's a different kettle of fish. Do you know what I mean? And you know what you're gonna get from Brits. When he played against Charlton, our midfield was like a massive man of steel. Man of steel. Um, but like I said, um, let's just wait and see what happens. Let me see what he says. Any news on Dale Kershak when Appleton left? I don't know. The last time I saw, there was a possibility that David Kalshake could leave. Until something comes along, then fair enough. Then I'll say it on here. But at the moment, it looks like Carl Shake obviously is going to stay. Obviously, there's no news on the other guys of Luke Jelly and and Mike Hine leaving. So I doubt that one. I know obviously Ryan Busbury has been added to the team, so we're looking forward to see what he brings to to the staff as well, and how he works well with Mark Kennedy. But other than that, for me, um, let's just wait and see. Owen again, are you at the tournament on Sunday? I was just wondering. Yeah, I'm at the tournament on Sunday. Yeah. Obviously for me, I'll be playing. I'll be playing my playing the tournament, depending on who else turns up as well too. Um, but I'll speak to the boss. I'll speak to Haley about it and see what she does, and see what she thinks as well. But listen, um, I'm looking forward to tomorrow's playoff with Wickham and Sunderland. Then of course I got my tournament as well. Um, on Sunday with the Lincoln Disability Football Club team. Looking forward to that. I can't wait to play and to play with everybody. Listen, thank you so much to everybody that has watched me on YouTube live for the first time, streaming live on YouTube, despite I've never actually done it before. Yeah, yes. Let me see. There's more comments coming through already, fam. Look at this. 9 points are up for grabs for us to win the league, and Haley and Clear aren't what aren't aren't there at the tournament. It's only Pete. Okay, fair plays. Yeah, man. Yeah, 9 points. Yeah, yeah. As long as we can win our games in the tournament on Sunday, then we've got a chance. But yes, but thank you very, very much for watching my live stream. I'll be doing some more of these very soon. Just remember, I've got two podcasts. Got the Imps Ting podcast show to do with Lincoln City, and then I've got Cornell's podcast show as well, which I'll be also be trying to film as well on YouTube as well. So thank you so much. Hope you guys have really enjoyed watching my live streaming. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys soon in the next video. Thank you. Up the Imps and back again. Any news, any transfer news, I will come on straight away, fam. I will do. Yes, I will keep up to date with everything that you with transfer news as well and see what's going on. Thank you very much for watching. See you guys soon. Thank you. Have a good evening. Up the Imps.